There is one question all of us try to ask. How do I want to live my life? This is a question that you constantly have to keep on asking yourself if you want to see any meaningful change. The biggest pandemic of our times is people being stuck in jobs that they hate. And most of us are locked in these jobs and we can't quit because we have a life that we have to pay for. Now, this brought me to where I am today by asking myself this one question. Let's start with the basics here. Most heart attacks happen on Monday mornings between 8 and 9. Now, that brings us to the fundamental question to ask ourselves why. It's because the majority of people are always on their way to work, jobs that they hate. Now, let's have fun with this. What is it that you do at this company that you work at? One of the things that I will need you to realize that what you do for work impacts every area of your life. Where you work impacts where you live. Where you work impacts what schools your kids go to. Where you work impacts how much time you spend with your kids and how much time you spend with your spouse. Where you work and what you do impacts the kind of relationships that you have. It impacts if you're going to have an affair. It impacts who you're going to have an affair with. It impacts the quality of your relationship. It impacts the quality of your health status. Where you work and what you do determines how much time you spend on exercise, lack of exercise. It impacts what kind of foods that you eat, and it impacts what kind of kids that you'll bring up. But above everything else, one of the things that I need you to focus on here and realize how impactful what you've chosen as a profession determines how long you're going to live. Because what you do determines what kind of stress that you have. And your kind of stress has a very, very big effect on how long that you live. Let's imagine we are in a mall. So when you get into a mall, the first thing that you'd always look for is either an information desk or you'll always go to the electronic board and look for where it says, I'm here. And that's what I want you to do with this exercise. When I meet you, I need you to ask yourself where you are. Then where you are gives you context. It does give you reference in terms of where you need to go, what route you need to use, and what you need to do to get there. So let's look at your job. How do you turn your job into your purpose in life? What I need us to focus on here is vision, mission, and purpose. Because if we don't turn our jobs into our purpose in life, we're going to live a very miserable life. Are you in any way ready to change your job? Are you in a position? Are you in a financially comfortable position just to quit your job? Or is your faith so strong that you can just live today? Because if you're not in that position, what I need to do today is I need us to come up with a strategy where you're going to change your employment into your deployment. So let's start with this easy scenario here. This one here is going to be your vision. This is where you want to go. Then I will have this as your job, which is going to become your mission here. And like anything else, we always start with our purpose, which is our why. How do we turn our employment into deployment? That is the thing. How do we turn our 30-day period that we work for a salary into a big mission in life? How do we start serving others? How do we turn this? How do we turn the stage that we have at work where we start creating and affecting others? How do we become impactful? That's what we need to ask. Now, this is you here. You are on this journey of life. Now, like anything else, You'll have goals. You set goals for yourself. And here you've got obstacles. They will always pop up. Now, the biggest problem of our times is we turn goals into the end be all of why we go to work. The minute goals become the be all and end all, I can guarantee you, you fall into that group where suicide becomes very, very high on your list because you hate what you do. Goals are only signposts. A signpost is just a way of showing you that you're on your right path. What you do now should be just a path to take you where you need to go. Now remember, when you start with a why, what you do, your work becomes your mission. And in doing your work automatically, it takes you to your vision. So in other words, by working towards your mission and turning your work into your mission, you fulfill your purpose. The minute we do this, then it makes it very easy because I want you to live with a very simple mantra. When I talk to most people in the corporate world, I always say three things. You need to be physically fit, you need to be present, and you need to be content. As simple as that sounds, you rarely find it in the corporate environment. So the simple mantra I want us to use here is, I want when I'm finished with you, when we go through this and you've done self-analyzation, I need you to become physically energized. I need you to be emotionally connected. I need you to be emotionally connected. I need you to be mentally focused and be spiritually aligned. Spiritually aligned to a cause bigger than self. Now, if we can bring in this shift, if we can turn you, and I repeat here, if we can turn you from being an employee to a deployee, if we can turn this into a mission, if we can turn you as a missionary, it means you've been deployed, and the only time you come back is only when the mission is finished. But if you are employed and you work for the salary at the end of every 30 days, chances are that you will be constantly stressed. There is nothing worse than working for money. Money is a byproduct of impact. If you look at the richest people in the world, their remuneration is in total proportion to the number of lives that they touch. If you look at Elon Musk, look at Jeff Bezos, look at Mark Zuckerberg, these are people that are serving more than 5,000 a minute every single time. Now, what is your impact? Because if you want to be impactful, then let us engage in this exercise. See you soon and God bless.